Hi Warm Springs, this is Dane Gilbert, physical therapist with the Warm Springs Holistic Health Clinic, and today we are going to talk about ankle mobility. Now for a lot of people, they experience a lot of ankle injuries throughout their lives, sprained ankles and such, and as the body heals from that, it usually becomes a little bit stiffer as we go along through life in an attempt to try to stabilize the ankle. Now we will talk about ankle stability specific exercises in the future, but today we're really going to focus on getting that mobility first. That mobility that's going to be so important for walking and doing a lot of the things that you do in life. So let's talk a little bit about anatomy here. So in the back of the leg here, you've got your calf complex, you've got your gastrocnemius that crosses your knee, and you've got your soleus right below it that doesn't cross your knee. Now that's going to become important later on with a couple of our other exercises, our stretches that are going to gain that mobility. And another thing that's really important to talk about is ankle plantar flexion, which is pointing your foot down, and ankle dorsiflexion, which is pulling that toe up. Now, pushing down, you should have about 45 degrees of motion there. Bringing this foot up into this dorsiflexion, you're going to want at least 10 degrees while you're walking and 15 degrees or so to get downstairs. So that's going to be a really important one that we're going to focus on today. So the very first stretch is going to be a gastroc stretch. So this is a very typical calf stretch. Now this could be a book or a 2x4 or anything that is going to lift those toes on up and put a little stretch on that gastroc back there. So we talked earlier, the gastroc crosses the knee. So by straightening out the knee and bringing the knee into play here, you're going to affect that muscle specifically. Static stretch, since we're working on mobility, holding for 30 seconds. And ideally 3 sets of 30 seconds. Do this on both sides or just the affected side, whatever you have time for. Now for the soleus, since it doesn't cross the knee, we can take the knee out of it and sink down. So bend the knee, should feel the stretch in a slightly different way. And that'll address the soleus, same idea, 3 sets of 30 seconds. Now, speaking of moving down into the ankle joint itself, now the ankle joint will glide and slide and roll to help create a little bit of space. So you've got your mortise, which is created by your tibia and your fibula, 2 bones that come right on down. They form this dome, and your foot bones are going to snug right on up into this space. Now, as your foot points down, those foot bones in the joint are actually going to slide a little bit forward to create a little bit more space. As the foot lifts up, it's actually going to slide back a little bit. So we can help facilitate that, especially if you're getting a little bit of pinching in this joint. You can give yourself a little bit of gliding to create that space. So bring yourself down into a deep lunge position or something similar to this. Ideally, bringing those toes up just a little bit to get yourself into position. And then you're just going to glide your tibia and fibula forward to help create at the foot that backward sliding, which is going to allow for more dorsiflexion. So try this if you're getting a little bit of pinching. See if this can relieve at least a little bit of that. So once again, pushing forward like that. Now gaining some of that mobility there will be hugely helpful when you're out there walking and hiking and running specifically. So hopefully this helps.